Well, let's talk about the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the December edition, the 34th annual PWI 500, I guess, best wrestlers in the world, I guess. Let's talk about it, man. And again, mentioned on the podcast, you can buy this awesome magazine, local Walmart, Barnes and Nobles. So wherever store, location sells magazines, 7-Eleven, I guess, if they carry it. Pick it up, man. Or you can buy it on pwinsider.com, their official website. That's what I did. Let's hop into it, man. Who is number one? Who is number one this year's of 2024 edition, the 34th anniversary annual PWI 500? God, yeah, it's the guy who's on the front cover of the magazine. It's Cody Rhodes, number one ranking, holding his title belt. I love this photo, man. Wearing his Pro Wrestling Illustrated t-shirt, holding the WWE title. I mean, it's pretty rad. I love these photos. Him holding it. Look at this stuff. You're watching on YouTube right now. This is pretty cool. Him in this big WrestleMania moment. Really cool. Cody number one. Fantastic. I love it. Dropping the bionic elbow on The Rock. Crossroads on Roman. That's pretty cool. And let's look at it here, because they have it broken down here. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see the progress. He was number 172. Number 172. Back in 2007. You can see all the way up to 2018. He finally cracked into the top 10. Number 15 and 19, 2019. 2020, he was number 7. 2021, he was number 11. In the year of 2022, number 6. And last year, 2023, he was number 10. Exactly. This year, the year of 2024, he is number 1 on the PWI, guess, best wrestler on the planet? That's pretty cool. Years of pro. Yeah, Cody's been doing this for 18 years. How about that? Pretty cool, man. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you kind of get a little glimpse on number 2. Who is number 2 following up behind Cody Rhodes? Well, there's no other than AEW's very own Swerve Strickland. 15 years pro. And if you see his rankings, that the path to number 2, his debut on the list was back in 2013. He was number 435. How about that? 10, 11 years later, he is number 2. That's remarkable. Number 340 in 2014. He has never hit a top 10 before. Last year, 2023, he was number 112. 2024, he's number 2. Not a top 50, not a top 40, not a top 30, not a top 20, not even top 10. He went from 112 from last year to number 2 of 2024. That's remarkable. 15 years of pro. Okay, let's talk about number 3. One of my favorite wrestlers, of course. The Billy Goat. Willie Boy, as Don Callis will say. Will Ospreay. Will Bygone Ospreay. Number 3. In the top 500 of the PWI. Best Wrestler of the Year. 12 years pro. His debut was back in 2016. He was number 16. That's remarkable. He was in the top 20 back in 2016. He finally made it down to number 7 back in 2021. Number 27, he went back up in 2022. Now he went back down to number 17 back in 2023. Here he is in 2024. He is number 3. How about that? Will Ospreay, number 3. Remarkable. All right, who is number 4 here? Seth freaking Rollins. Number 4. 16 years pro. Look at his journey. Seth Rollins was number 88 back in 2008. He eventually cracked into top 20 back in 2009, back in 2010. Man, I was still in high school or graduating high school. Here he cracked in the top 20. Eventually, he became number 1 back in 2015. And he became number 1 back in 2019. And he was number 1 wrestler of all time back in 2023, last year. So 3 number 1s. He's been on the cover of PWI's Top 500. That's amazing. But 2024, yeah, he is number 4. All right, let's cruise in the top number 5. Number 5, New Japan Pro Wrestling very own Tetsuya Naito. 19 years, veteran. Back in 2009, he was number 161. He finally cracked into the top 20s, I guess. He was number 12 back in 2016, 2017. He eventually made it to number 9 back in 2018. But back in 2022, he was number 2. Apparently, he was not on the 2023 list. I think he was probably injured. There's a certain criteria. You have to be on this list, of course. You got to be active a certain amount of months, matches. So I guess in 22, I thought he had some kind of eye surgery or something last year. I could be wrong. But back in 22, he was number 2. All right, let's move on to the 2024 Top 500 list here. Move on to number 6. Damian Priest. How about that? Damian Priest is number 6. He was number 447 back in 2016. The lowest he cracked into was the top 50s back in 2022. And last year, he was number 71. But, man, he made it to number 6 in 2024. So, there you go, Damian Priest. The Terror Twins. Number 7, one of my favorites. And I'm surprised he never made it to the top 5. But, number 7, MJF. 9 years pro. He was number 384 back in 2017. Back in 2020, he was number 2. A lot of people think him as a number 2. But in 2023, last year, he was number 6. This year, he went up 1 spot. He is at number 7. How about that? MJF, number 7. All right, let's move on to number 8 here. Jon Moxley. 20 years pro. Wow, you got a lot of veteran life here when it comes to pro wrestling. Back in 2006, he was number 447. And eventually he made it to top 18, top 13 back in 2014, 2015. I believe he was still in WWE at the time. He was number 9 and number 8 back in 2016, 2017. His first number 1 on the front cover was back in 2020. So this is in his AEW prime. Number 6 and 21. Number 12 and 22. And last year of 2023, he was number 3. But this year in 2024, yeah, he's number 8. Interesting. All right, let's go to number 9. Oh, one of my favorites. Gunther, the Ring General. At least at this moment, he's the current WWE World Championship. 18 years pro. Back in 2016, he was number 315. Last year, 2023, he was number 4. And I guess he went up a couple. And 2024 is number 9. So number 9, Gunther. And I guess we'll stop here for number 10. That's a big-ass list. Number 10, Mystico. CMLL very own Mystico. 26 years pro. Wow, he's been in the business for a while. Number 18th back in 2005. He made it to number 3 in 2007. And man, he just went up. He went up 101 back in 2012. The highest, he was number 319 back in 2019. Last year, 2023, he was number 46. And this year in 2024, he made it down to number 10. Yeah, interesting. So there you go, your top 10 wrestlers of 2024 in PWI Insider, PW, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. You got Jey Uso, he was number 17. Samoa Joe, number 11. Come on, Drew McIntyre, number 13. And Bryan Danielson, number 14. What the fuck? Eddie Kingston, number 20. Kushka Okada, number 21. What the hell? Christian Cage, number 29. All right, let's go back to let's kind of skip ahead here. There's a lot. Who's number 300? Jack Vaughn. Top of the OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. Huh. Xavier Woods is 299 if you give a rat's ass. All right, let's move on to number 400. Who is number 400 on this list? Sawyer Wreck. She looks like a hardcore badass. Blood on her face. Ring Star Hardcore Impressive Team 3D Academy grad can't read. All right. Microman. How about this guy, Microman? He's number 396. Yeah. So if you're a fan of micro people, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect. I don't want the micro people coming after me in the parking lot at Walmart. All right, who get the honorary number 500? That's what I want to know. Let's see, jumping ahead here. Let's see, number 500. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Blue Cane. Really? Blue Cane is number 500. A.K.A. Blue Pain. A.K.A. Blue Cane. Social media sensation, gained a lot of buzz this year, but also a lot of wins. Held multiple championships in the native UK, so Blue Cane is out in the UK. Bested Charles Crowley in the Buried Alive match. Became a obsession of Matt Cardona's. I'm not surprised with that. So number 500 of 2024 edition of PWI is Blue Pain. Blue Plane, fuck it, Blue Cane. It's not Glenn Jacobs, so I'll just tell you that. So what's all these variations of canes in the independent scene? I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Pro Wrestling Illustrated. 35th, 34th, can't spell. Just buy the damn magazine. $9.89 plus tax. If you live in the state of Illinois, you're gonna probably spend like $12 on it. But there you go. Add to my collection. Here's my podcast, Into the Square Circle podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe right now. Take the podcast to go. And that's it, man. It's been a blah ending. It's been a blah show. It's been a very interesting show. And if you're watching on YouTube, check out the podcast. We talk about a bunch of stuff, man. Bunch of stuff in the podcast around the pro wrestling world. So go check it out today. Hit the subscribe right now.